Every year, the fire destroys millions of acres of lands, billions of dollars in property, and thousands of lives. Not because we cannot fight fires, but rather we detect them a little too late. My name is Samir, and this is FLURON. Now let me put this into a perspective. In 2023 alone, the wildfires burnt over 2.6 million acres across the United States. Globally, the fire-related disasters causes more than $21 billion in property damages every single year. Entire communities are wiped out, ecosystem that took decades to grow are wiped out overnight. But here's what most people do not realize. A fire that is caused in its 5 minutes can often be contained by a single responder with basic equipment. The same fire that is left undetected for just 30 minutes can grow into uncontrollable disaster that might take hundreds of firefighters, aircrafts, and millions of dollars. The difference between a minor incident and catastrophe is not just how we fight fire, but rather how quick we see them. And right now, unfortunately, we are failing at that. So why has nobody solved this yet? Let us look at what exists today. The smoke detectors only work indoor, they do nothing for forest, open warehouses or agricultural land. The satellite systems work, but they have a delay of up to 15 minutes to an hour. By the time they detect a fire, it has already been spread. The watchtower depend on a human being paying attention all the time at the right direction. And the enterprise level drone solutions from companies like DJI and Skydio, they work but cost a ton. That puts them completely out of the reach for rural communities, small towns, developing nations, and small businesses. That right there is a massive gap in the market that no solution today is simultaneously affordable, mobile, real-time, autonomous, and accessible. So that is the gap that FLURON fills. Introducing FLURON. FLURON is an autonomous drone-based fire detection system. It patrols high-risk areas like forests, warehouses, industrial zone completely on its own. It uses a fine-tuned vision LLM to analyze its live camera coverage and along its sensor to detect fire and smoke in real time. When it spots something, it immediately sends responder a GPS tag alert with a visual snapshot and a contextual severity assessment. FLURON does not just detect fire, it understands the situation and communicates it in a way that helps people act faster. So this is how the FLURON works. It has 6 steps that we call it. It patrols, it captures, it detects, and it accesses and sends alert. They respond. We are also trying to put a CO2 suppression that we are trying to deploy in the drone itself. So whether it assesses if the fire is really small or at the beginning stage, it can deal with it itself. Or if it can't, then it can send a GPS response to somewhere who can actually help the FLURON. Well, now let's talk why we are choosing Vision LLM. So the Vision LLM can actually detect fire as well as reason the fire. And as you can see, the Google released a research paper very recently called TurboQuant, by which the LLM speed can be faster and it will use less computing power as well as less memory. So that's why we are building small fine-tuned Vision LLM for this specific purpose, which can outdo the traditional detection system. And what powers FLURON? So these are the components that power FLURON. So all of them together are comparatively cheaper components, you can say, that powers FLURON, which is almost as able to give the accuracy as the enterprise drone does, but it just uses different varieties altogether to get a higher accuracy. And why FLURON wins? Well, FLURON is under a $2,000 target. It has mobility, it works in real-time detection. It also uses advanced LLM, which no other enterprise or fixed systems are doing. It is also designed for small communities, and it is cheap yet autonomous. So why it matters to us? We started working on FLURON because I saw a news in which a family got burnt alive. They were on the 5th floor, and they were on the 5th floor, and it was really sad to see them going like that, because that fire was caused by electricity. So the electricity fire doesn't really work, is not able to extinguish with just water. So you also need carbon dioxide or other components to actually understand what is going on. So that's why we started FLURON. So these are the phases that are next. Right now we are research, system design, and AI prototyping. And right now these are the phases that are left, and by the 18th month we'll be done and the FLURON would be ready for market. So what do we need? We need $1,500 to build a full complete prototype ready for testing for FLURON, and these are the components that we would be using and all, and we need your mentorship as well as your feedback. So that is FLURON, early eyes before the fire spread. And that's me, Samir. Thank you.